Hi, everybody. This is Carrie at wooingnature.life. I hope you're having a great day and I hope you're getting ready to have a great new moon. This is the new moon view for November 26, 2019, and this is for Earth signs. Earth signs are Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus. So if you're Capricorn, Virgo or Taurus, then this information is for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out by talking a little bit about the new moon in general for those people who are still getting acquainted with getting connected with their lunar cycle. I'm also going to talk about some specific aspects that you may want to pay attention to astrologically with the moon, and then we're going to jump into the cards for the specific readings for each sign. I'm going to be reading from Money and the Law of Attraction, and that is because of some of the astrological implications. And then I'll be following up with the Sun and Moon tarot for clarification. So let's go ahead and get started. So the new moon is considered to be the dark moon. And it's not the dark moon because dark things happen. It's the dark moon because literally the sun and the moon are traveling side by side together. This is a time when the masculine and feminine are bonded, or the masculine and feminine are walking in synchronicity. It's also a time when the masculine and feminine can be very um, can be more balanced, or they're operating in a balance or in a balanced state. Because it's the dark moon and because the moon is considered to be feminine, it is about introspection. It's about a time to reflect. It's also a time to go within to explore the answers to pervasive questions that you may have had about your life or about your relationships, or things of an emotional nature, or even things of a professional nature. It doesn't matter. It's wherever it ends up being in your chart, and you will sense it in wherever that is. Every individual person may sense it in a different place, but the main thing is it's about introspection, going in, getting answers, meditating and praying, especially if you're thinking or meditating and praying about goals, aspirations, objectives, or if you're ready to set your intentions. So this is the time to do that kind of thing. It's the beginning of a cycle, so it represents new beginnings. If you have been working toward a goal, things have been going well or not, you can take this time to say, okay, these are the new objectives, or this is where I'm going to go next with this particular thing that I'm thinking about or that I'm doing. So that's what the new moon is about. The new moon on the 26th happens to be in the sign of Sagittarius. And so Sagittarius, being a fire sign, makes it a fire moon. Fire moons inspire us. They go to certain places within our emotional selves, or to our feminine, and ignites it. It gives warmth to it. It feeds it and fuels it, because fire is fuel. When you fire up something, you're giving it fuel. You're giving it the energy that it needs to move forward, whatever it might be, whatever your intention is, or whatever your goal is. The moon's energy is firing that up for you. How is it doing that? It's doing that a through inspiring you to expand your idea around, or expand your mind around the idea or the concept or the goal that you're setting. It seeks to expand your awareness, your spiritual awareness, your cultural awareness. It also seeks to expand your faith and your understanding of the universal law. It can also deepen your philosophical resolve, or your religious or your spiritual notions around things. And it also helps you deal with what is bringing you joy, and it also helps you decide what is essential, or what is important, what is really important to you. So this idea of fueling this newness, or fueling this idea, or fueling this concept, or fueling this goal that you have, or fueling whatever your intention is, it's it's of an expansive nature. So it wants you to expand. It wants you to get outside of your habits, get outside of your status quo, like these routines that you may have. You want to jump out of that a little bit, because expansion is what's bringing the clarity. Expansion is helping you to understand what's essential to you. Expansion is what is helping you to really get in touch with what brings you joy, and also get you in touch with your faith. So that moon energy and that moon in Sagittarius energy is really there to help you see a bigger picture, help you see a much broader view and vision. Now the new moon, of course, is coming in on the 26th of November. But it is going to remain in Sagittarius for a couple of days. So from the 26th to the 28th, we've got this moon in Sagittarius energy flowing. What happens on the 28th, though, is that the moon actually moves to line up with Venus and Jupiter. Venus and Jupiter are touching each other. They're connecting with each other and creating another kind of um, another opportunity for you to expand as well. So this moon, Jupiter, Venus energy together around the 28th is really going to give you a boost and really going to push some things forward for you. And then you can expect that in the days, weeks into the cycle, or into the moon cycle too. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this Venus and Jupiter conjunct so you can see how it all plays in with each other. So Venus and Jupiter are just like the sun and moon right now. They are walking hand in hand. They are moving together, and working with each other. The interesting thing about it is that Venus is in Capricorn, which is the sign of restriction and the sign of blockages. Like that's when things get blocked, or sometimes that's when things are restricted, or when we're disciplined, or when we have to pull back or pull in. The Jupiter, the difference here is Jupiter is in the sign of Sagittarius, and Jupiter itself is an expansive planet. It's the planet of expansion. It's in its natural sign of Sagittarius. So Jupiter is all about look beyond the obvious, pan out. I've been saying this for over the month. Pan out, look at the bigger picture, expand your own view of things. And so it is going to be bringing in these opportunities for you to do just that. At the same time, what's happening with Venus is saying, okay, here are these opportunities, here are these things, here are these expansive thoughts, ideas, experiences, all of that. But what is it that really moves me? You can put something out into the universe, for example, and say, oh, okay, well, I really want to be, I want my next career to be, I don't know, a phlebotomist, right? And so then there comes this opportunity for you to take a class, or for you to sit in on a workshop that deals with the thing that you said that you wanted. So the question is are there any blockages to that? Let's say, for example, the opportunity comes through, but it costs money and you don't have the money to do it. Then what you have to examine is, how badly do you want this? What sacrifices are you willing to make to become a phlebotomist? If it means that you're going to have to save, or it may mean that you have to ask somebody for the money so that you can get where you need and you can pay them back, whatever the case may be. Or it could be that the opportunity presents itself to you and you don't move on it. You don't do anything. Well, I don't have the money, so so I'm going to forget about it. And so then the question becomes, how committed are you to this thing that you say you want to do? So that's how this energy is moving. It's handing you things, it's presenting things to you, it's giving you opportunities to expand your view, or to reach your goals, or to make good on a promise that you promised yourself, or whatever it is. but it's doing it through showing you these different things and then letting you examine where you are with it. This goes along with this Venus energy in Capricorn deals with relationships and maturity, how mature you are in your relationship, whether or not you can handle a relationship that you brought in, because Venus is the planet of love. It's also the planet of pleasure. It's also the planet of the things that we enjoy and the things that we like. Um, but it's also asking us to look at your finances too and what you value. Because what you value, what you truly value, is what you're going to bring into yourself. That's why I decided to bring in the law of attraction cards, because if you truly value it, then you will draw it to yourself. And if you're drawing it to yourself and denying yourself it, or if you're drawing it to yourself and then you don't move on it, then you have to ask yourself, why are you doing that? Is it self-sabotage? Is it something you really want? Because it could be self-sabotage, meaning you really want it, but you're pushing it away from yourself because of something you believe about yourself. Or it could be that you really don't want it in the first place and you're just fronting. Okay. So, that's what's happening with the new moon. You can take that and apply that to your individual situations. You can apply that to your goals and your aspirations and what you've got going on and what you're interested in bringing forward for yourself as the new moon is coming in and as you are moving into this cycle. Just remember that the 26th through the 28th is really the time that you'll want to be paying attention. There's also an admonition to write these things down, because I think there may be some important lessons, or there may be some important information that might be coming through for you all earth signs during that time, and it could be good information for you later on. So if you feel so moved to write down what's happening, certainly write down your intentions. Don't not do that. And certainly write down your goals, because you got to write things down so you can make them plain so that they will come to you. It's the beginning of manifestation. Here go these cards constantly moving. All right, so I am going to pull 3 cards from the money and the law of attraction deck. I'm going to pull one for who's first up, Taurus, and then for Virgo, and then for Capricorn last. So we've got Taurus first, and then Virgo, and then we're going to look at Capricorn. Virgo and Capricorn. All right. All right, Taurus. So the card that was pulled for you is, it is not my role to make others happy. It is not my role to make others happy. That's pretty straightforward. Reading on the back, it said, it is not your role to make others happy. It is your role to keep yourself in balance. When you pay attention to how you feel and practice self-empowering thoughts that align with who you really are, you will offer an example of thriving that will be of tremendous value to those who have the benefit of observing you. So you are not, Taurus, here to make anyone happy. If you are thinking about your goals and objectives and you start to think about other people and how it's going to affect other people, then you are diminishing your resolve to what it is that you want to do. So I want you to kind of keep that and bear that in mind. It also says you cannot get poor enough to help poor people thrive, or get sick enough to help sick people get well. You can only uplift from your position of strength and clarity and alignment. Being aligned with your purpose, allowing your goals to align with your purpose, and you being an example is probably the best thing that you can do for others. So Taurus, if you find yourself making decisions based on other people or setting goals around what other people's needs, that is not the time for you right now. And again, talking about that idea of expansion, expanding your energy, or thinking outside of the norm. If that's the norm for you, Taurus, then right now you want to to circumnavigate that. You want to move around that a little bit. So as you're setting your goals and as you are setting your intentions during the new moon, think about those things that truly do make you happy, and those things that are truly aligned with your own personal well-being and your own personal goals. I've got Nine of Swords and Six of Swords here. Here the Nine of Swords is trouble in your mind, worryation. I would say that if you are thinking about making other people happy and trying to make other people happy, or if you find yourself in a situation where you're doing that, it can bog your mind down, and you don't want your mind to be bogged down right now. You want to be able to have this kind of focus on the goals that you have set for yourself. You want that to happen there. So I feel like the Nine of Swords is about is really about you putting your attention and having your attention be distracted by other people's needs, other people's desires, what other people, or how you feel about this, a significant other or other people in general. All right, anything else for Tauruses? Any other messages for Taurus? I got the Four of Wands here. The Four of Wands is I'm getting to keep working on this. Keep working on this particular thing. I feel like for a lot of you, this may be a mind habit. It may be something that you're accustomed to doing all the time, or maybe somebody told you that was the right thing to do, is to think about others. And it is good to think about others. It is good to give to others and share with others, but not to the detriment of yourself, and certainly not to the point where you're not reaching your goals because you're too busy attending to other people's. Okay. All right, moving right along, we're going to go to the next sign up, which is Virgo. Virgo, your card says, I will praise success wherever I see it. I will praise success wherever I see it. When you find yourself critical of the way anyone has attracted or is using money, you are pushing money away from you. But when you realize that what others do with money has nothing to do with you, and that your primary work is to think and speak and do what feels good to you, then you will be in alignment not only about the subject of money, but also a very important subject in your physical experience. And so again, we're talking about, this is speaking in terms of money and finances, but it's also about what you value too, right? So when you see something of value to somebody else, then look at it as, this is an example of how somebody else can receive the blessings of the universe. You, instead of criticizing the way that it happened, or criticizing the way somebody else achieves their goals, or how somebody else is manifesting their vision, or how somebody else sees themselves and sees their own self and their own sense of value, you can see it as an example. And again, just like with the Taurus energy, be an example. You are the example. You don't have to then adopt that particular way. That's not the point. The point is not for you to adopt other people's examples and other people's manner of receiving success or getting success or being successful. That's not the goal at all. The goal is really about honoring your own successes. It's also about understanding that how other people are receiving have nothing to do with how you're going to receive. It's just that you will have a different example of that. So I've got the Five of Wands here, which represents some sort of inner battle. So if you are dealing with that kind of thing, Virgo people, if you are feeling like it could be that you're begrudging somebody else their success, or judging it, or criticizing in that way, look within yourself and ask yourself, what are you criticizing about your own success? How are you being critical of your own progress as well? And I know that Virgos are really, really good at being perfectionists. They're also really good at analyzing or analyzing and sometimes over-analyzing a situation. So if you do find yourself being overly critical of somebody else's um, accomplishments, then you got to look at where you might be criticizing and becoming critical of yourself, and that could also hinder your progress toward a financial goal or a personal goal. All right, the Prince of Pentacles. I've got the Prince of Pentacles here. It seems like, Virgo, you have a handle on what it is that you desire. You have a sense of what it is that you desire. You're trying to push forward with that. You are pushing forward with that. But I still feel like this may be something that you need to examine and look at. Being aligned, understanding your relationship to money, what you think about money, and how you think you should get it, or how you think you should achieve a particular goal. It doesn't really matter, Virgo, honestly, as long as the goal is achieved. Now, of course, we're not going to try to get to do anything negative to somebody to try to get to where you want to get to. That's unimportant. That's really unimportant. And you know that. So it's not about that. It really is about going in. And I guarantee you it's some kind of internal criticism that you have of yourself about what you're doing. You don't need to be critical about what you're doing. You don't need to be being self-critical. And sometimes the criticism without is really the criticism within. All right, and then we have the Ten of Pentacles. Again, I feel like you have a handle on what it is that you're trying to achieve, what goals you're trying to achieve. And it looks like this is about wealth. There's wealth right up there at the top of the card. So it looks like, Virgos, you are definitely dealing with issues around wealth, not so much about internal value. But again, if you're being critical of others' successes, then you're probably also being critical of your own. You need to lighten that up. You need to take a load off of that and give yourself some cut yourself a break and cut other people a break, because sometimes you can be too hard on yourself, and sometimes you can be too hard on the process, and you don't leave enough room for serendipity. You don't leave the room for the expansion. Remember, this is about expansion, this new moon. So you want to kind of be mindful of that. All right, Capricorn, we got appreciation and love are identical vibrations. Appreciation and love are identical vibrations. Appreciation and love is the vibration, is the vibration of alignment with who you are. Appreciation is the absence of everything that feels bad and in the presence of everything that feels good. When you focus upon what you want, when you tell the story of how you want your life to be, you will become closer and closer to the vicinity of appreciation. And when you reach it, it will pull you toward all things that you consider to be good in a very powerful way. So to me, Capricorn, right now, this message and this new moon message is really about valuing and what you value and what's important. It's more about value and what you appreciate and that what you love. And it's saying that when you start to speak about how you want your life to be, when you start speaking in the affirmative about what it is that you want to see happen in your life, then you start to draw yourself toward a place of appreciation. And that's about alignment too. It's about being aligned, because sometimes we're asking for things that are not aligned with our true selves. And it can create a conflict for yourself. But being close to appreciation is really, really important. And then also thinking about the things that you love. This is essential right now. That which you love, that which brings love, and that which draws you closer to an appreciation of who you are and to the circumstances that exist around you are really going to push you forward. That's where that fire energy and that expansion come in for you. All right, so we got the Three of Wands here. The Three of Wands talks about virtue in this case. Again, we're talking about things that you value, things that you appreciate. Virtue could be one of those. I'm also seeing with this Three of Wands that you're juggling a lot of things, or there may be a lot of ideas that you're trying to maneuver through. Again, looking and going toward the appreciation and the thing that you love can help answer that. So if you feel like you're juggling a lot of things, Capricorn, and you're trying to narrow that down, then go to what you love and go to the thing that you appreciate the most, in yourself and in others as well. Or the thing that you appreciate about yourself and the thing that you um, um, the thing that you love. Simple as that. The thing that you love. All right, I had several cards to jump out. I'm just gonna ask, try to get some clarity. Might be a little bit too many. All right, other information for Capricorn, please. Three of Wands. I have about appreciation, love, and value. All right, there we go. There it is again. It's love. Ace of Cups is that which makes us feel good. That's which brings us joy and happiness. That's that which makes us feel connected at our heart center. Again, appreciation and love puts you at a different vibration. So don't think about, your focus is not so much on the goal, like what you're trying to achieve, or how to achieve the intention. It really is about going in and finding what you love and appreciate the most. And then we have the Queen of Cups here, which is again love. Love, love, love. That which you love and appreciate, Capricorn, is really going to draw you to a really great place during this new moon. So again, just take into consideration, earth signs, what information has been disseminated to you today in relationship to the new moon and in relationship to Jupiter and Venus, and then also the messages from the cards today. And I hope you all have a great new moon. I hope that it will bring you good tidings and great joy before Christmas time. All right, if you need to reach out, if you want to get your own new moon view, your personal new moon view, you can reach out to me at Kerri, Kerri, at wooingnature.life. As always, hope you have a great new moon, and I hope you're having a wonderful life.